Welcome back, everyone, to day 7, the grand finale of our 7-day English Fluency Challenge. I am Emma.
And I am David. I cannot believe we made it to day 7. I am so proud of everyone who has practiced with us and shadowed our voices every single day.
You should be very proud. We have covered airports, restaurants, shopping, and asking for directions. You now have all the survival skills. But today, we are talking about the ultimate goal, the holy grail of learning English.
The Holy Grail? You mean the absolute most important thing?
That's right. Today, we are learning how to have a real, natural conversation. We are going to practice how to express your feelings, share your opinions, and most importantly, how to stop translating in your head.
Oh, this is the biggest challenge of all. When I was a beginner, someone would ask me a simple question and my brain would freeze. I had to translate their English into my native language, build my answer, and then translate it back to English. It was so slow.
That is incredibly common, David. It creates those quiet, awkward moments in a conversation. But true fluency is not about knowing every single dictionary word. It is about reacting naturally and confidently.
That is what actually connects you with people and helps you make real friends. And today, we are going to build that fast reaction muscle memory using our shadowing technique. When you hear the phrase, repeat it out loud instantly.
And before we dive into our first deep conversation today, I am going to teach you a native secret weapon. I will show you how to use native filler words to buy yourself time to think in English without sounding nervous or confused.
I absolutely love native secrets. Let's get right into it. Imagine we are sitting in a cozy coffee shop talking to a brand new friend. Let's go.
Okay, imagine we are in that cozy coffee shop. Your new friend asks you a question, and your brain suddenly starts to panic. You want to translate the question to your language. Before you do that, you need to use a filler phrase.
A filler phrase? Is that like saying or Because I do that a lot when I am nervous.
Everyone says, David, but there are much better, more natural phrases that native speakers use all the time. These phrases mean almost nothing, but they give your brain 3 extra seconds to find the English words.
3 extra seconds is a lot of time in a conversation. What is the best phrase to use?
My absolute favorite one is very simple. Just smile, look at the person, and say, "That is a really good question. Let me think."
Oh, I love that. It makes the other person feel smart and it gives you total control to build your sentence without translating. Let's ask our listeners to shadow this lifesaver phrase. Listen and repeat. That is a really good question. Let me think.
Excellent. Another very short and native sounding trick is simply starting your sentence with the word, well, or the phrase, you know.
Yes, native speakers use all the time. It is the ultimate thinking phrase. Let's practice it. Listen and shadow. Well, you know,
Perfect. Now you have the tools to pause a conversation without feeling awkward. Your brain is calm and you are ready to speak.
so we bought ourselves some time. Now, how do we actually start a deep conversation? I am so tired of just talking about the weather.
Talking about the weather is called small talk. It is safe, but it is boring. To have a deep conversation and make real friends, you must use open ended questions.
Ah, right. An open ended question is a question that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no.
Correct. If you ask your new friend, "Do you like movies?" they will just say, "Yes, I do." And then silence. The conversation dies.
That is the worst feeling. So, how do we fix it?
You change the first word of your question. Instead of "do you," use words like what, how, and why. Let's practice a great open ended question to ask a new friend about their life. Listen and shadow. What do you like to do for fun?
Great job. Now they have to give you a real answer. They might say, I love painting, or I enjoy hiking.
And when they give you their answer, you have the perfect opportunity to go deeper. You use the most powerful word in any conversation. Why?
Yes. But just saying why can sometimes sound a little bit like a police interrogation. A much softer, friendlier way to ask is, why is that?
Why is that is a beautiful native phrase. It shows you are truly interested in their feelings. Let's shadow this very powerful question. Listen and repeat. Why is that?
Amazing. With just those 3 words, you are inviting them to tell you a story.
And telling stories is exactly what fluency is all about. But what if they ask you a deep question? How do you explain your own feelings in English? It can be very scary to share your deep feelings in a new language. You have to find the right vocabulary, and you worry about making a grammar mistake in front of your new friend.
Exactly. I used to do something terrible. When someone asked me a deep question, I would panic and just say, I don't know. I missed so many chances to connect with people just because I was afraid.
That breaks my heart, David. People want to hear your unique thoughts. And here is a secret. Native speakers do not care about your grammar mistakes when you are telling a good story. They only care about your message.
That is 100% true. So, how do we start sharing our opinion without freezing? What is a good opening phrase?
A perfect, very natural phrase to start your opinion is to be honest. It tells the listener that you are about to share a real personal feeling.
And it gives you another second to think without translating. I use this one all the time. Let's ask our listeners to shadow it. Listen and repeat. To be honest.
Beautiful. Now let's connect it to a feeling. Instead of just saying a boring fact like, I like painting, you can add some emotion. You can say, to be honest, painting makes me feel really relaxed.
Let's practice that full emotional sentence. Copy my rhythm. Listen and shadow. To be honest, painting makes me feel really relaxed.
Great job! You just shared a real piece of yourself. But what if you were talking about a difficult topic and you're not 100% sure how to explain it? When you are talking about a difficult topic like relationships or your future, you might not have a perfect answer. Sometimes you just have a mixed emotion or a general thought.
Right. And if you say, I think, it can sometimes sound a little too strong, like it is a strict fact. You don't want to sound like you know everything.
Exactly. So, when native speakers want to soften their opinion and sound more open minded, they use a beautiful phrase I feel like.
Oh, I feel like is a game changer. You can put almost any sentence after it, and it suddenly sounds so natural and deep.
Let's practice this. Imagine you're talking about a movie, and it wasn't terrible, but it was just missing something. Listen and shadow. I feel like it could be better.
Perfect! You sound so thoughtful. Let's try one more about life. Listen and repeat. I feel like I need a vacation.
Great job! You will hear native speakers use I feel like hundreds of times a day. Now, speaking of deep thoughts and feelings, we want to pause for a second and hear from you, our amazing listeners.
Yes, we are curious. What is the hardest topic for you to talk about in English? Is it talking about your job, explaining your feelings, or maybe discussing politics?
Pause the video right now and tell us in the comments. Just type, for me, the hardest topic is, we are a safe space here, and we read every single comment.
I will definitely be replying to you down there. Okay, so now we know how to share our own opinions. But Emma, a real conversation is like a game of tennis, right?
That is a great example, David. You hit the ball, and then they hit it back. You cannot just talk about yourself the whole time. You have to show that you are actually listening to them.
You are completely right about the tennis game, Emma. When I was a beginner, I would just stare at the person, nod my head, and say, yes, yes, for 10 minutes straight.
If you only say yes, the other person might think you don't actually understand them. To keep the conversation alive, you need to use active listening phrases.
Active listening? You mean showing them that I am paying attention to their story?
That's right. If they tell you something that is logical or easy to understand, you shouldn't just say, okay. A beautiful, very common native phrase is, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. It makes the speaker feel very validated and understood. Let's ask our listeners to shadow this excellent phrase. Listen and repeat. That makes sense.
Excellent. Now, what if they share a deeper opinion with you? To show that you deeply respect their thoughts, you can say, I see what you mean.
I see what you mean. That is so much warmer and more natural than just saying, I understand. Let's practice it together. Copy my rhythm. Listen and shadow. I see what you mean.
Perfect. And if they tell you something surprising, funny, or exciting, you don't even need a full sentence. You just need to use your emotion. Saying, really? Or, no way, with a big smile is perfect active listening.
It is all about the energy you give back to them. So we reacted to their story. We hit the tennis ball back. But what if we want to hear more? How do we ask them to keep talking? So we showed our friend that we are listening and we reacted to their story. But sometimes they finish talking and there is that awkward silence again. What do we do?
That is the perfect time for a follow up question. A follow up question is when you ask for more details about the exact same topic. It proves you are truly interested in them.
I used to be so bad at this. Someone would tell me they traveled to France, and I would just say, wow, cool. And then the conversation would completely die because I had nothing else to say.
Exactly. Instead of letting the conversation die, you can use one of the most friendly, magical phrases in the English language. You just say, tell me more about that.
Tell me more about that. It is so inviting. It's not even a real question. It's like giving them permission to keep telling their story.
Yes, people love it when you want to hear more about their lives. Let's ask our listeners to practice this beautiful phrase. Copy my rhythm. Listen and shadow. Tell me more about that.
Perfect. And you can be very specific too. If they say they love to cook, you don't have to think of a brand new topic. You just say, tell me more about the food you cook.
Let's shadow that specific example right now. Listen and repeat. Tell me more about the food you cook.
Great job. Now your new friend is talking again, and you're having a real, deep conversation without stressing your brain.
But to truly stop translating in your head forever, you have to do something that happens when you are completely alone. It is a daily habit that will change your English forever. We have talked a lot about how to speak with other people today, but the absolute fastest way to stop translating in your head is a habit you build completely alone. We call it self talk.
Self talk. I used to do this all the time. My family thought I was going crazy because I was always whispering to myself in English.
It might feel a little silly at first, but it is pure magic for your fluency. Self talk simply means you narrate your daily actions. You describe exactly what you are doing out loud, like you are the star of a movie.
Exactly. It forces your brain to skip the translation step. Instead of making your morning coffee in silence, you look at the coffee maker and say out loud, I am making coffee right now.
Let's practice that simple action. Imagine you are standing in your kitchen. Listen and shadow. I am making coffee right now.
Excellent. You connect the physical action directly to the English words. Let's try another one. When you leave your house, you don't just leave in silence. You say to yourself, I am locking the door.
Build that muscle memory. Listen and repeat. I am locking the door.
If you do this for just 5 minutes every single day, I promise you, within a few weeks, your brain will start dreaming and thinking completely in English. You won't even need to try.
It is the ultimate secret to natural fluency. Now, you have all the tools you need to have a deep conversation and think like a native speaker. That was such an amazing final lesson. You now have the tools to pause, listen, react, and share your deepest thoughts without translating a single word.
I am so incredibly proud of everyone. But before we celebrate the end of our 7-day challenge, we have to do our very last mini quiz.
Let's see if you remember our secret for starting deep conversations. Imagine you are sitting next to a new friend and you want to know about their hobbies. You don't want to make boring small talk.
Think carefully. Which is the better question to ask? Do you ask, do you like music? Or do you ask, what kind of music do you like?
Remember the rule about open ended questions. Make your choice and say your answer out loud right now.
If you said, what kind of music do you like? You are absolutely right. Starting questions with what, how, or why forces the other person to tell you a real story.
Everyone, take a deep breath. You have successfully completed the 7-day English Fluency Challenge. We practiced airports, hotels, shopping, directions, and deep conversations.
You showed up every single day. You shadowed our voices and you trained your brain. You are no longer just a student. You are an English speaker.
Learning a language is a beautiful journey, and this is just the beginning. We want to celebrate with you right now.
Yes! For our final question, we want to know, how do you feel after completing all 7 days?
Are you feeling more confident? Did you discover a new favorite phrase? Go to the comments right now. Type, I finished the 7 days, and tell us your thoughts in English.
We are going to read and reply to every single comment to celebrate your huge success. Thank you so much for joining us on this amazing adventure.
Keep using your daily self-talk, keep shadowing, and never stop exploring the world.
We will see you in our future videos. Bye, everyone, and congratulations!
Bye!